Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for the illuminating grilling that we just received from the government on this thing. But Jason did bring up a fantastic point as it pertains to all of our lives. And January 6th is a turning point that our golden religion of government, excuse me, didn't mean to do that, has been thwarted and problematically insurrected upon, and because of which there will be new laws, there will be new things to be brought about to make sure that the government is protected. And Carrie knows all about it. So, Carrie, why don't you tell us what are some of the things around the corner that we can expect from our grand overlords?
Yeah. You got a screenshot of this, Matt, this article?
I do, yes.
Yeah, it's so perfect that Jason brought up that there were 300 people charged in quote unquote in connection with the Capitol riot, because they mentioned this in this article, which, by the way, the headline of which reads, "With focus on domestic extremists, lawmakers aim to reorient national security agenda." And it's all about, oh, we have 300 charges against people who are involved in this Capitol riot. And apparently a Michigan congresswoman who happens to be a former CIA analyst, nothing to see there, says the end date for America's singular focus on threats from foreign terrorists has come and gone. January 6th, this is a quote, "January 6th for me kind of capped the end of the post 9/11 era." And I guess, from a libertarian perspective, this is not surprising in the slightest. Ron Paul predicted this 20 years ago when he was talking about foreign policy and how it was going to come back and bite us in the butt. And Republicans were like, oh, no, this is just all about catching, terrorists overseas. And now it is, the crosshairs have been turned inward and are now pointed at Americans, just like libertarians have been saying for the past 20 years. So, that's ultimately all I want to say on it is we told you so. But it is happening, and they are fixing the narrative. And I think it's right for Jason to point out that the media played a huge part in that Capitol riot, and the fact that they're just going to continue on fanning the flames is beyond ridiculous. But it's also same old tricks, like what we've been talking about in this entire episode. It's all the same old tricks. It's just, I don't know, for us getting a little more obvious.
Well, Ron Paul was able to see it, but I'm sure, Norman Horn, you have been taken completely by surprise by this thing.
Oh, I'm just shocked.
Is this
new information?
Yes.
No,
what? The government is going to use a crisis to take our liberties?
Right? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it's funny. I just wanted to say, just imagine, what is the TSA in order to handle and deal with homegrown domestic terrorism, right? What does that look like? That's what they want to try to implement, is whatever that would be. And I, for one, think it would suck really, really bad. Because I think it's interesting. We're 20 years after the TSA was implemented, and everything that's going on, it's still here, not going anywhere. So if we would see something put together in order to deal with this, we can imagine it's going to be here for generations to come.
And the TSA never caught a single terrorist.
I was actually going to ask that. I don't know if Norman or Carrie or anybody has what those efficacy percentages are for the TSA. If you know what those might be.
Roughly zero.
It's roughly zero.
Good. All right.
It
good.
is. Yeah. Like they've caught nobody. They've caught nobody. And in their exercise,
that just means that they've scared the terrorists so much that they're just not even going to try that path anymore.
They're that effective.
They're the grand sentinels of our security.
Really? Because I thought it would just mean that they're not going to catch any real domestic terrorists, and they're just going to keep on patting us down.
What's always been those TSA memes about what TSA stands for?
Yeah, thugs standing around.
There you go.
That's about right. Yeah.
And it's more or less true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what I'm really surprised though is that, for the last several months, they changed it so you could actually take 12-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer. So
So
they
Oh.
made an exception, and not a single terrorist actually tried to smuggle an explosive liquid in that
No?
larger size bottle.
they were too afraid of the pandemic.
I
Of
mean,
course.
Oh.
yeah, it's like,
Actually, the irony is that, and that actually is new information to me. I did not hear that,
Yeah,
but
I
it
hadn't
is
Heard that.
notable.
You're
that-
hearing it here
can-
first, folks.
Yeah.
From good news, bad news, TSA has allowed 20-ounce bottles of hand
12 ounce.
sanitizer.
12,
12 ounce, sorry.
12. But here's the funny thing. What's in hand sanitizer? Alcohol, isopropyl alcohol primarily.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. What is
Yeah.
isopropyl alcohol? It's flammable.
Oh my god.
you can
So-
make a pretty sweet Molotov cocktail.
We're joking. We're joking, NSA.
Please don't do that. We are not advocating for that at all. As someone
We're
who enjoys
joking,
flying,
NSA.
please don't do that.
But but I mean, it's been a long-standing joke, right? That what happens when when you confiscate all these 12-ounce bottles of potential explosives and then put them into a trash can with all the other potential explosives.
Right there where everybody's standing.
TSA agent.
Right there, where the bulk of people all have to go through in order to get to their flight. Does this
Yeah.
really make sense? No, not
No.
really. So it is security theater, as we've said time and time and time again, and as we have fought for the last decade to try and prevent and stop. But it is what it is. We have to deal with it. My actual advice is go get yourself global entry, pay the mafia their fee for better treatment, and move on. That's about it. That's all we can do.
My
right now.
solution is to fly private jets.
Yeah.
Wow, what did I think
I
of
got
that?
my own
Oh,
plane
God.
now.
Oh,
Out
man.
of the four of us, Jason is the most likely to be able to do that.
Wait for it. Wait for it.